Hello, hello, hello. I'm Dr. Kellie Alston, and welcome to the Wire Writers Workshop, where I encourage you to be mindfully healthy as you impact higher education. This is our 7th Write With Me session, and it is extremely special, as is the number 7. Story time. When I was a little girl, I used to say I was going to have 7 children. And I would proceed to list their names. And I can't remember their first names, but the boys were going to have the middle name Lee, L-E-E, like my father. And the girls were going to have the middle name Lee, L-E-I-G-H. Well, let's just say I did not have 7 children, but I still love the number 7. So much so that I chose it for my volleyball jersey number in 9th grade and would not let anyone else wear it until I graduated. Well, to my delight, I found out early in my adult life that 7 is a very significant number in the Bible. According to BibleStudyTools.com, it appears over 700 times throughout both the Old and New Testaments, and in biblical numerology, 7 symbolized completion or perfection. So, interestingly, this 7th session is the session that brings all the reflecting we have been doing together. Therefore, I am in a state of expectancy about this session. If you have been reflecting with me during this series, please let me know how it's going in the comments or send me an email at hello@kelliealston.com. If you have not had the opportunity to reflect with me during the previous sessions, but would like to catch up, you can find sessions 1 through 6 in the description box or the Write With Me playlist on this channel. Oh, and please go ahead and hit the thumbs up and the share button right now so that others can be notified and join us. Today's session is entitled Moving Beyond Reflecting to Creating Weekly Action Plans. Our focus will be on prompts 7 and 8 in the Professor's Week in Review, a journal for weekly reflections on the higher ed experience. As a result, our session will occur in 3 parts. Part 1, I'm going to share why weekly action plans are necessary. Let's call it the why. Part 2, I'm going to share how to create the action plan using the prompts. Let's call it the how. And part 3, I'm going to review the prompts and give you 2 sets of 7 minutes to respond to them. Let's call that the what, because essentially writing is what we came to do. As you know, we have been faithfully exploring the power of work journaling during our past sessions. Hopefully, you have found the Wire Journal to be an excellent tool for amplifying your personal and professional growth. I created this series to offer guided practice and share my rationale for every prompt in the Wire Journal. Hopefully, each session highlighted the significance of each prompt. But today it's time to unlock the journal's full potential by translating those reflections into actions. So let's get to work. Part 1, the why. There are 4 ways that weekly action plans will enhance your reflection experience. Number 1, developing clarity and focus. One definition of clarity, according to Merriam-Webster, is the state of having a full, detailed, and orderly mental grasp of something, while focus can be defined as a state or condition permitting clear perception or understanding. focus can also be defined by a point of concentration or directed attention. I just love studying the meaning of words. How about you? These definitions make me think about the GPS or global navigation system. I use it daily, even when I already know where I'm going. Go figure. Put simply, this system helps us get from one location to another by using 24 satellites that circle the Earth in precise orbits. Now, let's liken this unto your weekly action plans. The satellites that you are using come from the 6 prompts that you took the time to reflect on. Your responses to those prompts provide the precise information that you need to get from where you are to where you want to be, or from how things are to how you would like things to be. So, just as you must input a location or destination into the GPS so that it can chart your path, you can use your weekly action plans as detailed roadmaps that help you track your movement and direct your attention toward the work experience you desire. Number 2, accelerating goal achievement. One of my top 5 favorite books in the world is Goals: How to Get Everything You Want Faster Than You Ever Thought Possible by Brian Tracy. Brian Tracy is the master teacher on goal setting. Chapter 5 of his book is entitled Review Your Goals Daily. Yes, he said daily. Tracy teaches that an important mental law is whatever is impressed is expressed. So the aim is to program your subconscious mind so that your goals are embedded or locked in it. Making a list of your top 10 to 15 goals daily is a way to do this. Now, if you want to know more about this strategy, I encourage you to read or listen to this book. I've had my copy since 2009, and you should see it. I've read it over and over and over again and applied so many of the strategies, yet this book never seems to get old. Since the Wire Journal focuses on the week in review, it serves as a place to initially list your goals based on that data you collected from the first 6 prompts. Once you complete this first step, you are then ready to write them each day, if you so choose. Tracy asserts that as you implement this practice day after day, your goals will become clearer. The order of priority will change as your life changes, and before you know it, you will start to make progress at a rapid rate, sometimes so fast that it will be scary. Your weekly action plan gives you the space to think deeply about your goals, modify your goals, and execute them in a systematic rather than random way. The seal for the deal is the deadline attached to every goal. According to Brian Tracy, your mind loves a deadline and thrives on a forcing system. So, catch this. Even if you do not know exactly how the goal will be achieved, set a firm deadline because you can always change it once you get new information. Mr. Tracy says that it is okay if you do not know how the goals will be accomplished. Do not worry about that. You just write them in faith, knowing that every single time you write them, you are impressing them deeper and deeper into your subconscious mind. At a certain point, you will begin to believe with absolute conviction that your goal is achievable. And then guess what? The method, the resources, human and otherwise, the how will soon be revealed. In fact, one of my favorite verses is Proverbs 16:3. Commit to the Lord whatever you do, and your plans will succeed. So if you are setting goals and you commit them to the Lord, you will know those that need to change, those that need to be thrown out, and those that align with God's plan for you, and the how will not be kept a secret. Number 3, prioritizing meaningful work. In The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Stephen Covey shares that he is persuaded that the essence of the best thinking in the area of time management can be captured in a single phrase: organize and execute around priorities. In higher ed, your roles and responsibilities can seem unlimited. With so much on your plate, it's easy to feel overwhelmed and lose focus. A weekly action plan enables you to prioritize meaningful work by identifying the tasks that align with your long-term vision. By dedicating time to what matters most, you create room for deeper engagement and satisfaction in your work. Number 4, staying accountable. Accountability is an obligation or willingness to accept responsibility or to account for one's actions. When you commit your intentions to paper in your work journal, you take ownership of what you set out to do. You identify a standard for yourself and thereby have a means of evaluating yourself. This internal accountability will help you stay on track and fosters a sense of responsibility toward your personal and professional growth. To elevate your accountability, seek support from a colleague with whom you share similar goals to serve as accountability buddy. You two can create external accountability for each other as you meet on a regular basis to discuss your progress. I hope these nuggets have increased your excitement about creating your action plan as they did for me. Understanding why something is beneficial sets a good foundation upon which to build. So now let's move on to part 2, the how. It's time to focus on the process. Your journal is divided into 16 weeks, which is the equivalent of a semester. If you teach 8-week sessions, you will be able to reflect for 2 sessions in your journal. Every week, there are 9 prompts. Thus far, we have covered 6 of them. Number 1, your wins. Number 2, your approaches as it relates to communication. Number 3, your approaches as it relates to facilitation. Number 4, your lessons that you've learned about yourself. Number 5, your lessons that you've learned about your students. And number 6, your concerns. After you respond to these prompts, grab a couple of highlighters because you are going to go on a treasure hunt, if you will, identifying statements that stand out to you. You're going to be looking for things you would like to continue doing, as well as things you would like to do differently. And differently could be that you are eliminating something altogether. For example, you might use green for things you would like to continue doing and orange for things you may do differently. If you love highlighters like I do, you might even use red or yellow to identify those things you are eliminating. Side note, I love creating mind maps, so the use of color really stimulates my thinking. Now, once you have identified those 2 categories, you will then consider who might support you in bringing your plan into fruition. For example, let's say that you teach online full-time for an online program in your department. Normally, the online advisors advise students. However, due to budget cuts, you are now required to advise. After doing so for about 2 weeks, you realize that you still have so many questions. Under prompt 7A, what will you continue doing? You might write, learning more about the advising process, i.e., using degree works, banner, and familiarizing myself more with general ed requirements. You may highlight this statement in green. Then, under prompt 8, where you are asked to identify those who might support you in bringing your plan to fruition, you might write, schedule an appointment with Jan Pretzel by October 10th to walk me through the process and answer any questions. After you have completed your list based on the goals or tasks you want to accomplish, you will then get your planner and designate time and specific deadlines to get them done. Note, everything from prompt 7A and 7B will not land under prompt 8. For example, you may decide that you are no longer offering extra credit. You will not list who will support you in that feat. You can just highlight that and indicate that may be the case starting, let's say, spring 2024, and be done with that. In summary, examine reflections 1 through 6. Highlight statements regarding things you want to continue doing and things you want to do differently. List your support system and/or resources, and use your planner to set your deadlines. Now that brings us to part 3, the what. It is time for us to write. So, grab your journal or open the fillable PDF version on your device. Take a deep breath or two. Prompt 7A is, what will you continue doing? Think about the things that went well, the things that were effective over the past week, and list or describe them. Write your goals as they relate to these things. Then move on to prompt 7B, which is, what will you strive to do differently? Think about what did not go so well or those things that need to be tweaked or eliminated. Also, draft any goals that may pertain to this prompt. The timer is set for 7 minutes. Let's write. Congratulations! You have completed part 1 of your weekly action plan. Now it's time for part 2. The prompt is, who might support you in bringing your plan into fruition? Fruition. List any persons, programs, or resources you may need. The timer is set for 7 minutes. Let's write again. I hope you found this session to be fulfilling and that you saw how prompts 7 and 8, the action plan, offers that sense of completion. If you need more time, though, please continue writing and even investigating, as there may be resources available of which you're not aware. Remember to pull out your planner and be intentional about setting deadlines where necessary. Using your journal and planner together serve as a motivation booster. Well, thank you for writing with me for this special 7th session of the Wire Writers Workshop. Use this video for encouragement as you move beyond reflecting to creating weekly action plans. If you have not done so, and you were just practicing with us, order your journal today at bit.ly, the Wire Journal, or download it at bit.ly, the Fillable Wire, so that you can go through these prompts week after week after week during your mini session or your full semester. You can also click any of the links in the description. Discounts apply to those who order 10, 20, or more from Vervante, my publisher. So, get a group of colleagues together and order your journals today. I can promise you that the value you will receive from it is immeasurable. If you enjoy this process, please like, comment, subscribe, and share with your colleagues. Until next time, continue to make it a mindful semester. Bye-bye.